Pastor Matthew Stuckey here, and in this video I want to explain to you Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. I'm going to read you the verse, and then I'm going to explain what this verse is saying and the false religions that will attack the idea of Jesus dying on a cross. The Bible says in verse 13, Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree. And the Bible talks about Jesus Christ and being hung on a tree, and other times the Bible says Jesus died on a cross. And of course, when you look at the Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't believe that Jesus died on a cross like most of Christianity. They believe that Jesus actually died on a stake. And so his arms were like this, as opposed to his arms being out to the side. And they'll look at verses like this where it says that he's hung on a tree, and they'll say, see, he wasn't hung on a cross. That's false. It's not true. Now let me just give you several reasons why the Bible mentions him both dying on a tree and on a cross. And then I'm going to show you a verse that just makes the Jehovah's Witnesses look like complete fools, which they actually are. The one reason why it mentions him dying on a cross, or a tree and a cross, is the fact that this is tying together an Old Testament curse mentioned from Deuteronomy of someone who hung on a tree. So as the Bible mentions tree, then they would immediately identify this with the book of Deuteronomy, and that would make sense of the curse of someone dying on a tree, which is what it's actually saying. Another reason is, a cross is made from a tree. And so a cross is made out of wood that comes from a tree. And so it would be perfectly reasonable to say cross or tree. Another reason is because in many ways, a tree actually resembles a cross. So with a cross, it goes like this. And with a tree, you have a big, thick trunk. And then you have the branches that actually stick out. So in many ways, it's very similar to a cross. And there's also symbolism with the tree of life going all the way back to the Garden of Eden, and there's many verses that talk about the tree of life and symbolism there. But let me just show you John chapter 20, verse 25, that makes Jehovah's Witnesses look foolish. It says, The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails. Okay? So Thomas says, I want to see the print of the nails in his hands. Nails is plural. What it's saying is there are multiple nails, one for the left, one for the right. But with Jehovah's Witnesses, look at their pictures and their hands are together and there is only one nail. But what Thomas said is the print of the nails, plural, in his hands. Why? Because there's a nail on this side, a nail on this side, and it's nails, plural, as opposed to just one nail like the Jehovah's Witnesses say. So it's perfectly reasonable. The Bible says tree, the Bible says cross, and there's nothing wrong with saying Jesus died on a cross because a cross is actually made from a tree. Anyways, thank you and God bless.